Smart men are not more attractive because of what they do. They are more attractive because of what they refuse. There is a man you have seen before. He does not try the hardest. He does not give the most. He does not bend over backwards to impress anyone. And yet women are drawn to him in a way that most men spend their entire lives chasing and never achieving. You have probably looked at him and wondered what his secret is. You have probably assumed it was his looks, or his money, or some natural charisma that certain men are just born with and others are not. But here is the truth that changes everything. His attractiveness is not built on what he does. It is built on what he refuses to do. There are 4 specific things that smart, attractive, high-value men refuse completely. And every single time an average man does these 4 things, he quietly destroys the attraction that could have been there. Today, we are breaking all 4 down. Backed by psychology, backed by science, and backed by the truth most men are never told. If this is your first time here, subscribe and drop a like. This channel is built for men who want the truth about attraction, without the fluff and without the games. Most men will watch this video, nod their heads, and do nothing. And 6 months from now, they will be in the exact same place wondering why nothing has changed. The ones who take action will grab the Magnetic Masculinity ebook in the description right now. It is not a long read. It is not filled with fluff. It is the most direct, honest, and practical guide to becoming the man women cannot overlook that I have ever put together. Real men who have read it have reported back that their confidence changed within days, not weeks. The link is in the description. Scroll down, get it today. Because the man you want to become is not going to build himself. Here is what most men have been taught about attraction. Work hard for it, pursue it, show her how much you like her. Prove your worth through your effort. Be available, be generous, be agreeable. And if you do all of these things consistently enough, attraction will follow. And so men do all of these things. They pursue endlessly. They give generously. They say yes when they mean no. They show up when they should stay home. They make themselves completely available because they were taught that availability signals love, and love creates attraction. But here is the painful truth that nobody tells them. Every single one of those behaviors, when done from a place of insecurity or need, signals one thing to a woman's biology: low value. Not because women are cruel, not because the rules are unfair, but because attraction is not logical, it is biological. And biology responds to very specific signals that most men were never taught to send. The men who understand this stop chasing and start refusing. And the moment they do, everything changes. Psychologist Dr. Robert Cialdini identified the scarcity principle as one of the most powerful drivers of human desire and decision-making. We consistently assign more value to things that are rare, selective, and not easily obtained. We assign less value to things that are abundant, easy, and always available. This principle operates with particular power in the context of romantic attraction. A man who accepts everything, tolerates everything, and gives everything to anyone who shows him a small amount of interest signals one thing very loudly: he is not selective. And a man who is not selective signals that there is nothing particularly special about being chosen by him. Evolutionary psychologist Dr. David Buss found consistently across decades of research that selectivity in men is one of the most powerful signals of high mate value. A man who refuses certain things, who has standards he will not compromise, and who does not give his time and energy to just anyone, communicates to a woman's biology that his attention is worth earning. And the moment his attention becomes worth earning, she starts working to earn it. These are the 4 things smart men refuse. Here are the 4 things. 1. Smart men refuse to seek validation. Most men do not realize how much of their behavior is driven by the need for her approval. The jokes that are funnier when she is watching, the stories that are slightly exaggerated to impress her, the opinions that shift slightly to match hers, the constant subtle monitoring of her reactions to know whether they are doing okay. All of this behavior is validation seeking. And validation seeking is one of the most powerful attraction killers that exists because it communicates a single devastating message. His sense of self depends on her response. A man whose sense of self depends on a woman's response is a man she cannot respect. Because if she can make him feel good or bad about himself simply by reacting or not reacting, then she holds all the power. And a man who gives away all his power is a man she cannot feel safe with. Smart men refuse to seek validation from anyone. Their sense of self is internal. It is built in private and maintained regardless of how anyone responds to them. And that internal groundedness is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can possess. Research from psychologist Dr. Nathaniel Branden found that men with high internal self-esteem, meaning their sense of worth comes from within rather than from external approval, are consistently rated as more attractive, more trustworthy, and more desirable as long-term partners by women across all age groups. Stop seeking her approval. Build your own. 2. Smart men refuse to over-explain themselves. When a man over-explains himself, he is doing one thing: justifying his existence to someone he has decided has the power to judge him. He over-explains why he was busy. He over-explains his decisions. He over-explains his opinions in case they are not well received. He apologizes for taking up space. He softens every statement with qualifiers because he is afraid of being too much or not enough. And every explanation, every apology, every qualifier quietly communicates the same thing: I am not sure I deserve to be here as I am. Smart men do not over-explain. They make decisions and stand by them calmly. They state opinions without a lengthy defense. They say no without a paragraph of justification. They take up space without apologizing for it. Psychologist Dr. Albert Bandura's research on self-efficacy found that men who communicate with directness and without excessive justification are consistently perceived as more competent, more confident, and more worthy of respect than men who over-explain and over-qualify their words. Say what you mean. Say it once. Then be done. 3. Smart men refuse to be always available. Availability is not devotion. Availability is a signal, and the signal it sends when it is constant and unconditional is that your time has no value because there is always more of it on offer. The man who responds to every text within seconds. The man who rearranges his entire schedule for a last-minute invitation. The man who is never too busy, never unavailable, never occupied with something more important than her attention. That man feels safe to take for granted. Because nothing he has is scarce. Nothing he offers requires any effort to obtain. Smart men are genuinely busy. Not performative busy. Genuinely occupied with their purpose, their goals, their friendships, and their growth. They respond when it suits them. They make plans in advance. They have a life so full and so directed that fitting into it requires a certain level of genuine interest and investment. Research from the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology found that people feel significantly more attracted to and more invested in individuals whose interest and availability is not guaranteed. Uncertainty about whether someone is fully available activates the same dopamine pathways in the brain that are associated with desire, pursuit, and emotional investment. Be genuinely busy. Be genuinely unavailable sometimes. Let your time be something worth earning. 4. Smart men refuse to tolerate disrespect. Silently. This is the one most men find hardest, because they were taught that being understanding, being patient, and letting things slide is what good men do. They were taught that reacting to disrespect makes them look insecure, that the bigger man walks away and says nothing. But there is a profound difference between responding to disrespect with anger and responding to it with calm, quiet, unshakable standards. A man who says nothing when he is disrespected does not look secure. He looks like a man who has decided that keeping the peace is more important than his own dignity. And a man who values peace over his own dignity is a man a woman cannot fully respect no matter how much she might want to. Smart men address disrespect calmly, directly, and without drama. They do not shout. They do not sulk. They simply make it clear with complete composure that certain behavior is not something they accept, and then they follow through by removing their energy and attention from situations where their standards are not being met. Dr. John Gottman's research on what women find most attractive in long-term male partners found that men who maintain clear personal standards and address boundary violations calmly and consistently are rated significantly higher in trustworthiness, attractiveness, and respect than men who tolerate everything to avoid conflict. Respond to disrespect calmly, every time, without exception. Here is what all four of these things have in common. Not one of them is about her. Not a single one. They are all about you, about the relationship you have with yourself, about the standard you hold for your own time, your own energy, your own worth, and your own dignity. The smart man who refuses these four things is not refusing them as a strategy. He is not doing it to seem more attractive. He is refusing them because he has built the kind of relationship with himself that makes accepting less than he deserves genuinely unthinkable. And that is exactly what women feel when they are around him. Not a man performing confidence, not a man executing a dating strategy, but a man who is so completely and quietly at home in himself that everything about him says one thing without a single word. I know what I am worth, and I am not available to anyone who does not know it too. That man does not attract women by trying. He attracts them by refusing. And now you know exactly what to refuse. If this gave you something real today, like this video and subscribe for more content that tells men the truth most people are too afraid to say out loud. And if you are ready to build the complete version of this man from the inside out, grab the Magnetic Masculinity ebook in the description below. 15 years of research. One powerful guide. Built for the man who is done settling and ready to become the man women cannot afford to overlook. The link is below. Go get it today.